he fall? He fell! Oh, it's over. It's all over. Unironically the best. Unironically the best. Fuck these children. Get wrecked. Nugboard.
MMA, you need to be more flexible. You know, jump back and forth, get that old Connor bounce, you know? It's the same stance, but you're just moving a lot more. My stance got a lot when I play. I know five
Christmas, New Year's, Madison, the magic stuff. Fuck is that? What the fuck is that? Move your fucking ass, cunt! Fuck you! Don't fucking eyeball me either! Oh yeah, I'm not really nice to people in public. That motherfucker was just walking in the middle of the... Controlling else right now, man. Hobart, Tasmania. The greatest city in the world. Right now. It's so sad. Like the shittest place in Australia is literally the best place to live right now. Welcome to the world. Most people survive drowning, BK. I've survived being shot, I've survived being stabbed, I've survived being hit by cars about 13 times, I've survived being in nearly 1,000 fights. Now, if you told me what the death rate for your average street fight is, I would tell you it's about 10% chance of dying. Now, just because I've survived 1,000 of them, doesn't mean that I would recommend going and having a street fight. It's a real dumb idea, you're going to get killed. And everyone would have that opinion. But because it's a virus that people can't see, it doesn't seem as scary as a motherfucker with a baseball bat trying to take your shoes. This is a really important thing.
Hey!
Hey, good evening, motherfuckers.
Nicked one of my old KFC balls.
Hang on, I need back to punch.
Oh, jeez.
How's it going, boys? Here we are.
It doesn't have my OBS camera setting, so it's a little bit extra wide angle, so you get to see the mic.
I'll go all
It's covered in LEDs.
I changed my camera angle to be face on because I thought that'd be good for the podcast.
I love the way you've green screened Dark Gale's fucking KFC wall behind you, brother.
Yeah, I was thinking about an Aussie flag, but I just thought
there we go.
I've got the little other side, little KFC mountain. But here we are, boys.
That's one of my old ones, isn't it?
All right.
Yeah, I don't know. I just
There we
it
go.
was easy to
That's
get.
a little nice. I have to fix that.
Yeah, you weren't in front of it, so I could cut you out. Anyway, how's it going? Can we get a little bit louder? Oh yeah, true. Let me turn it up. Low. Here we go.
Why the hell are you? Why the hell is it using my actual speakers?
Yeah, I know, mine too.
Oh,
1 second.
All good. I'll just while you guys.
Okay, there we go. That sounds much nicer. I mean, I could have taken my headset off and enjoyed it, but fuck that.
Let me do the intro, Dark Gal. Let me do the intro. Boys, here we are. Todd Benford here. We got Leon Lion, the king of Southland, and the avid Murloc breeder. And we got Dark Owl. 3. Well, okay. I managed to get 2 of the Titans on for the podcast today of the OC WoW community. Dark Owl, Leon Lion, both been avid WoW gamers for a long time. Welcome, gents. Do you want to introduce yourself? I don't know. I'm sure everyone already knows who you guys are, but
I'll let Dark Owl go first.
Okay, Dark Owl.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm a co-GM of Darklions, which I run with Leon Lion. I got High Warlord Mage in Classic. Who knows? That's as good enough for me. I don't care enough about shit. You go, Leon.
The bugger lives in New Zealand as well, in the South Island of New Zealand. That'd be probably an
he's the NZ representative.
The mainland. The mainland. Let's use the appropriate term. We're trying to keep away from those dirty North Islanders, yeah.
Come on, that's where my fun is from.
Leon.
So wait, they're saying they can't hear me. Is that right?
Mate, I can hear
your
you.
stream? Yeah,
I don't know. On my stream, they won't be able to because I don't want it to echo if they're. I can do it like that. So there you go. We'll do it like that. I have it so they can hear me on my stream too.
Okay, cool.
I just wondered if it was going to echo for people. Anyway, all right. I'm from Tasmania, Australia, south end of fucking Australia down there. We've got a fly buzzing past me heaps as well at the moment. Playing World of Warcraft since pre-order through PC Power Play magazine back in fucking 2007 or whenever it fucking was. Been playing ever since. Had every expansion. Still got the original boxes. Collected all the figurines. Addicted as hell to this game ever since it was released. And when we knew classic, nice. When we knew classic, Wrath and TBC was coming out, spoke to Dark Owl to figure out to get a guild going, and pretty much that's how I know Dark Owl. I knew him before that for about probably 8 months, 9 months, maybe a year, and then from there it's just been Dark Lions now fucking rule the server that is pretty much empty. So it's easy to rule the server that's got people on it when we're 80% of it.
Yeah. Well,
killed
fucking Horde.
Oh.
I was just gonna say, me and Dark Owl.
Cool, but Leon wasn't.
Oh yeah, true. I was just gonna say, Dark Owl. Me and Dark Owl had a little bit of a crossover back in the day, but that was way before streaming. A little bit of the PvP stuff back in the day, but Dark Owl went all the way. I gave up like a coward. But anyway, so. I think the first topic of conversation, boys, that everyone's been talking about lately in the WoW sphere is Chris Metzen coming back.
Yeah.
I didn't realize who people were talking about until I looked it up and looked at the picture and I went, oh, that dude.
Yeah, I don't know why they made him go in the first place.
I don't really know either, but
I think it was conflict of interest when Activision took over after Wrath of the Lich King and Cataclysm. It wasn't long after that.
He was still there through WoD. WoD was a lot of his work, and then after they fucked him off. Yeah.
Okay, so he hung around for a while then.
Yeah, he did.
He did
quite a bit of work on Legion, and about before Legion's release, they fucked him off.
What do you reckon their intentions are with this? So, what's the idea? Like, are they going?
Well, one guy knows all of WoW lore. He created 98% of WoW lore, so it makes sense.
Does that mean we're going to see something different though, like a different branch off? Or after Wrath, we're going to see a different branch off, or after Classic Hardcore,
so,
we're going to see a branch off.
This is what the rumors are: is that they're bringing Chris Metzen back. And with this announcement, they also said that he's going to announce something new that they're going to be working on at the next BlizzCon. So this is why the rumor mill has been spun up, that they're bringing him back to do Classic Plus, potentially. But it's all up in the air at the moment.
I think he's coming back purely because Dragonflight has sold the worst of any retail expansion in history.
You reckon?
And I really don't know why. I mean, I get that BFA and Shadowlands were both pretty dog shit, but the fact that Dragonflight's done badly is no fault of its own. I mean, it's more playable than the other two, that's for sure.
I think visually they've taken away that gritty medieval feel about it and added that cartoonish. I've been hearing people compare it a lot to Disney type shit when it comes to a lot of the things they're throwing into the game.
I think they brought a bit of that back with Dragonflight. Again, being more dragon folk. Like if you play Classic, it's so focused on the dragons. You play TBC, there's quite a bit of focus on the dragons. You play Wrath, there's massive focus on the dragons.
No, man, there is a massive focus, but the main focus of all the first three games is the undead, the scourge, you know, and like fell demons and shit like that and stuff like that. Like it's all about leading to that moment. Do you remember that first moment you ever went to Culling a Strathholm and you seen that intro video for that shit? Fuck, what's an ass that's going there? No, stop, you know, and he just starts killing all the innocent people. It's like, fuck me,
well, see, I played Warcraft 3, so I'd already done that.
Yeah, but same here, but it was so good to see it and actually go in and see it in 3D, you know, like, and be able to, you know, rather than this real-time strategy game that we used to play, it's now, it was a turn-based, I can't fucking remember it. It was turn-based.
Nah, it was like StarCraft. Yeah, it was RTS. Yeah.
So I mean, I think Blizzard need to really think what they're going to do next. If they've got Metzen back, there's obviously they're thinking about it because they're trying. If he's the creative input for the lore of the game, LORE guys.
Well, I think that's the biggest issue with Dragonflight is the lore just didn't hit. The trailers weren't as hype as previous trailers.
Man, the lore was there, but it was the wrong path to take. And they added too many.
It's just not that interesting lore. Like, the Dragon Isles. Okay, Center somehow got there, which would never. That's co-renant. Like, there were angles they could take. They chose to miss them. The raids are pretty good. The gearing's pretty good. I like a lot of the changes
nice
they've made.
In the way of the environments they created, it is. I must admit, it is gritty. It's
so glad.
Nasty looking. You know, like it's like fuck yeah. Like you go into that underground area. And like where I got that cool mount, and like, it feels dangerous, you know. It feels, you know, it has the right feel about it and everything. But when we realized that Raid Finder came in, and
I like hearing about Shadowflame and stuff actually expanding on the concept. I think that's good. I really like I like that they don't have covenants. That basically single-handedly ruined fucking Shadowlands for me. Is it just created this stupid imbalance, and Blizzard doubled down on them. Halfway through, they basically buffed one covenant for a class, and you had a mandatory covenant for every class, which was stupid.
Do you think that the covenants were just like, because didn't a lot of people, when they had the artifact weapons, complain a lot about how that like funneled you down sort of one route and locked you in, and then you had the covenants? They just replaced
the trick with artifact weapons is you ended up maxing it out at some point if you ground hard enough.
It's hard to let go of
and it made it easier week to week. I really hated what they did with Azerite. Instead of having the research come in every week, the amount you needed to level just randomly got smaller behind the scenes, and I felt that was actually pretty insulting.
Wait a second. We're now talking about retail, right?
Yeah, I was going to bring it back.
I don't think they brought Metzen in for retail, guys. I don't think they.
No, that's what I was going to say. And
so,
also,
fuck retail, right? I mean, don't get me wrong. There's been some really good expansions and everything like that look great. Mr. Pandaria was beautiful. It's like one of those nicest looking expansions, but it introduced the furries and the fucking cuddly characters. Like at least the fucking, you know, at least the werewolf type thing, you know, was cool. You know?
I don't know how much.
I quite like the Calaxy.
Oh, can I jump in here? I don't know how much you guys know about the lore, because that is sort of Chris Metzen's, because he wrote like the story and did a lot of the original art for Warcraft. So you have Warcraft 1, 2, and 3, and then the continuation from that is what gave us World of Warcraft and the TBC and Wrath of the Lich King.
Wait, so this comment was written recently, Todd? So it's
this is last week.
Working on Warcraft again, like
literally yesterday.
The story is developing right now. How the world unfolds over the next few years. Well, I can't wait for you all to see where we're headed. Like,
so
I mean,
Metzen
what does that mean? Is he talking about fucking retail, or is he talking about what?
He's talking about retail for sure. I don't
want him to be talking about retail. I want him to be talking about classic.
Well, see, here's the thing. People have already asked for classic kata, so you're gonna get classic kata.
They're not. No. People who don't know classic kata want classic kata. People who know classic kata know that
people liked it. So there was someone arguing with me on Reddit They loved a fucking hour-long goddamn Grim Battle. They were really, they had a really good time with their friends doing an hour-long Grim Battle.
Yeah, well, we might as well move on to Kata. Dark Girl was talking to me about it last night and the other night, and so I guess Dark Girl really
I'm
wants to
so
talk
angry
about
it because it's the last thing I really want to do with my time. Like,
yeah, well, I don't want to do Kata either, but I have heard a few counter arguments. All right.
Okay, I want to hear these counter arguments because my whole reason of bringing up Kata is name one good thing about Kata, because I don't think there is anything good about Kata.
So, one good thing.
These are some of the things I've been asked to bring up. So we've got, apparently the raids were really good, except for the last two bosses of Dragon Soul.
I disagree. All of Dragon Soul is bad. I disagree too. And
let Todd finish. Let Todd finish. Let Todd finish.
Yeah, because then you can. Do you want to go one by one?
I'd rather go one by one. I think one by one's nicer.
Apparently, they really like the raiding, and that the last two bosses of Dragon Soul were good.
I would say all of Dragon Soul's terrible. I name a boss in Dragon Soul that's good. I don't think there's a single boss in Dragon Soul that's good.
In Raid Finder with a bunch of fucking people that don't
I did it in Heroic.
That's what I'm saying. Like the fact that you can do it in fucking Raid Finder.
Well, the comment is that anything other than the last two bosses. They're saying the last two bosses.
We didn't even use comms. We got through Heroic in the first 3 weeks without comms. Like, you can't do
even
that.
I didn't. I wasn't even heavily.
And apparently, there were lots of varied mechanics for it. So I'm just reading what the people are saying.
One of the mechanics of the bosses is there's a ball, and you spread around the raid, and the ball bounces back and forth. That's it. You know that. The first boss mechanic for Heroic is he splits in two, and you need 2 tanks, and then they die.
The point here, Dark Girl, would be that when you went through all of Wrath, and you went through like Classic, Burning Crusade, and Wrath, and then Kata comes along, I was expecting more. You know, I was expecting something a little bit more complicated. I was expecting new mechanics,
I will say things like Heroic and Nixia and Nalfarian is a decently hard fight. Heroic Cho'Gall's a decently hard fight, and obviously Heroic Sinistra is quite hard. You only get to her after you beat Heroic Cho'Gall. But Heroic Harfist Wormbringer, the first boss before Heroic Cho'Gall, he's a joke. You open some cages, you kill some dragons and some whelps, and he gets a debuff that makes him take like triple damage, and you just kill him. Like you will kill him in greens. You will kill him on Heroic in green gear.
In green,
and that's stupid. Like,
I can agree with
that.
Especially normal,
and a big
should
reason
be some progression, right? Is that the main why you didn't like it?
But they dropped.
Yeah, well, you just hit a wall. So there's a council boss in that raid, and obviously you'll wall with the sound boss in the other raid because they released 2 raids. But on Heroic, you will wall them week 1, and then you'll come back with more gear, and you'll just smoke it because it's literally a gear check that you just lose in greens.
Yeah.
Because you skip dungeons. You just skip dungeons and start Heroic raiding.
I don't even need to bring that up then, because they're saying the dungeons were good.
Can I just quickly add a point in here? Because Dark Girl said a term I was going to use before when we were talking about
the dungeons got made more TBC style.
Hold on. Let Leon jump in. I
don't want to explain too much on the intricacies and the finer details of these things. Because I'm just about to say that when you said brick wall before, it's like I think that's what Blizzard has brought this Metzen back for, because they hit a brick wall because they have no creative foundation investment in the game at all. None of the people that are currently at Blizzard really have any foundational investment in the game, and they definitely. I would love them to prove that they have fucking characters in the game, because they don't. Right? People like the people that write the lore for the game, have characters in it because they want to experience what they've written.
Yeah.
Right. Bringing him back. I'm thinking that Blizzard knows that with Diablo and with fucking Warcraft, World of Warcraft retail, and that they need a brick fucking wall. And probably numerous other examples.
I don't know if you kind of know this, but when World of Warcraft first released in the original stories, Thrall was kind of Chris Metzen's inserted player character, right? Because from how the story goes, Thrall, I think they were playing Dungeons and Dragons, and so there's a bunch of self-insertion from some of the stuff they were doing before they even got into World of Warcraft.
Well, that's why he's Green Jesus, right?
Yeah, exactly. And that's the meme, that it's because it's Chris Metzen. So, but The last thing I want to bring up about Kata, and this is like, I'm sure you'll have some opinions on this. The class reworks in Kata. People are saying were good, and then and it helped the PvP scene and things like that. But I don't know, because a lot of PvP guys
the
are keen
PvP
for
scene.
Kata.
So as a PvP,
exactly.
even though I haven't done too much in Wrath, the way that PvP works in Kata is you CC the healer until they and then you kill people. You basically can't kill anyone while the healer has mana. There's too much crowd control and the rest of it. You need 2 DPS to even a healer, really.
Yeah.
Like it. And look, and you see it today in retail. That's the way retail's played. You do a big crowd control heavy and then you kill someone. I personally, Wrath, you just run in, you press Divine Storm, someone's half life, you press Crusader Strike, they're dead. You know, I prefer that. I want that bursty. Yeah, I want a bursty, high action PvP. I don't want it to be 30-minute turtles with crowd control.
What did you think about the PvE though? Because I found being a PvEer and everything, I found that from Wrath, I found I could die in Wrath really easily, being around all this elite skellies when you're near doing the quests down the bottom and shit, around in the front of where the ICC is on the lead up. And yet when it got to Cataclysm and the like Mists and Mr. Pandaria and all that sort of shit, I almost felt like I couldn't die. You know, it almost felt like my character, I was a boomkin, and I felt like I couldn't die. I was like,
I'm currently leveling through Wrath on Holy Gale, and I'm surprised how little I die because I'm pulling stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, it
Paladins,
gets even dumber.
Yeah.
But
Paladins
a
are
big
especially
thing for
Wrath,
me,
like
with the class rework.
Go.
Is Holy Power? Holy Power sucked for Paladins. Like it didn't really work as a system yet. It gets much more fleshed out later on. But in Kata specifically, it didn't really work. At least for most of the X-Pack. And Focus for Hunters feels fucking terrible until MOP. In MOP, they completely fix it. They change the way Focus Region works completely. But it really is awful off the bat.
Do you guys see this?
Awakening.
So this is the supposed leak that got
fake.
leaked onto. Yeah, I know, but everyone's reacted to it, so I just want to see what your take is.
Yeah, let's have a look.
So this is the supposed reaction or the supposed leak for Classic Plus. Okay, so. And this is like the whole thing. I know we've been talking a little bit about Kata, but it's bringing it back in to Metzen, right? So, yeah, I'll circle it back around. But yeah, this is the leak. I don't know if you've read through this, but basically we go to level 70 again. Hydrall and Emerald Dream get added in and fleshed out. Okay. Finish off a bunch of quest lines. The High Elves and Ogres are new playable races. I don't know. There's a little bit of a what's the word? Precedence for Ogres being added in and High Elves being added back in. Obviously, High Elves are basically sort of the Blood Elves anyway, but they don't turn into Blood Elves without the TBC story playing out, right? Or does that happen before?
Technically, the TBC stories already happened, but they retroactively changed High Elves in the game to Blood Elves because they just had the updated models.
There's a lot of
there's a story reason for it, but because there's High Elves.
There's a lot of races they couldn't choose because they have to. You think about this, because they have to be able to have them on mounts. They have to be able to have mounts for them, right? And the Taurans almost didn't have mounts. They ended up coming up with the Kodo, which makes them the equivalent of a 3-story fucking building. You know.
Would you reckon that makes Ogres like a pretty unviable?
That's what I'm thinking.
Race?
That's what I'm thinking, bro. I'm thinking it would make Ogres an unrealistic choice for the path line because how would you create a mount around an Ogre? And let's just say they get you go in and you get into TOGC 25 or whatever, or 10-man, and you get the mount, the horse mount.
Yeah.
How the fuck's that going to look with that big motherfucker on top of it? They can't make the horse.
No, but this is the idea, though, is that we wouldn't even, because it'd be a whole different offshoot. So we'd get a different story.
I'm going to be honest.
You know what they could use, which I think would be brilliant? Murlocs. Fucking give us the chance of making Murlocs, man.
Well,
that could be
I-
into like an independent class. They're
Hmm.
not friends with any cunt. Yeah.
I think if they're gonna do
I like to
classic
swear on this.
plus, they won't bother increasing the level cap. I think getting to 60 is already punishing enough for most people. I think the average player doesn't need another 10 levels
Wait,
added on, unless they're going to make leveling quicker.
Let's just hang on, Dark. Let's just go through this, man. Let's have a think about all of this. Let's have a look here because I think we've got to push.
Well, you
through
can
a bit here.
ignore the first like 5 lines.
We'll reuse assets from Burning Crusade, Wrath, Cataclysm to maintain a visual aspect of the classic era. Fair enough. New models will look like the reawakened phase hunter mount. Okay. I have no idea what the fuck that means.
That's a mount that they made for TBC launch.
Level cap 7.
When they sold
Without
the
Oh
Pass.
yeah, the like
Legend and Emerald
6
Dream.
month like subscriber amount or whatever it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
So without new continents, Hyjal and Emerald Dream will be new zones. So Emerald Dream, that's where you go and you're going to go run, and they've got those certain dungeons and shit that you can do when you go into the misty area, isn't it?
Yeah,
You run around in
because
that.
the reason why this is brought up
Having the
here
time
is
or something,
because it was Emerald Dream was always rumored, and there's like assets in the classic files that show that they were like
And
playing
there is for
around with
Hyjal too.
yeah,
There
it's
was
Hyjal
also
as well.
assets that showed that was supposed to be player housing in Classic.
Yeah,
And that
well,
was that
wasn't-
area in the
yeah,
middle that you can't get into that's got the door.
Yeah, I remember you talking about that the other night with me. But
Yeah.
so I don't know if they're just trying to like obviously this leak.
I just don't know why they would increase the level cap. If you're only adding 2 new zones, why would you increase the level cap to 70? Getting 60.
Just make the gear better. Make the gear better. I don't mind
Well, exactly. That's exactly it.
I don't mind gear progression rather than level progression. I love gear progression. It's fucking nothing
You
better
could
than
even
getting
do
that
like
fucking
you could
rare
even
item,
just
man.
do 5 levels or something. In my opinion, I know.
Well, look at the
I
two
wouldn't even
trinkets
bother
I've got.
doing
I'm
levels.
Yeah,
over the
I
moon.
think getting 60 sucks enough. Having a couple of 60 only zones is probably a good idea.
So
True.
what else we got here? We got the idea
And just
is
make
to
it big
finish
quest
the-
lines or
sorry.
something that you spend time in there.
I'd like to see new
unlock
quest
towns
lines.
and
That'd be
stuff.
interesting. Like a new path line that you could choose to take from in Classic that leads you through exactly the same maps, exactly the same everything, but instead you have a completely different quest line based around some other idea in the lore of the game. That would be interesting because that means that you can see other people there doing the standard WoW quest lines.
Who's
which is what we've
Divine
all played.
Kate?
But then they could also add extra assets in the game that if you choose the alternative,
Oh,
you're still in the same world. But you know what I mean? Anyway, so let's go to the next one. The idea is to finish the various vanilla quest lines that were lost in time with the arrival of Burning Crusade. Right? That wasn't.
You could even have the Sunken Temple quest unlock Hyjal as a zone.
True. That would be cool actually. Because the
High
Green
elves-
Dragon flight, right? Like
Yeah.
High elves I could see working. High elves, but it's too many elves in the games. Night elves, high elves, fucking, like come on. Normal night elves, like
People
fucking-
do like the
Dark
elves.
elves, yeah. Well, that's true. So high elves and ogres are the new races, respectively, for Alliance and Horde. Now, ogres I don't see working unless they choose a like the basic pissy version of them, one that you experience when you're questing like low level. Unless it's those ones, because they're going to have to be the same size as Taurans, I think.
yeah,
And they'll have
exactly.
a similar amount.
So,
They'll have to
so
introduce a new mount.
what do we
to them,
say?
I guess.
Thumbs up or thumbs down?
I'd go
I
thumbs
don't
up
think
if they do it
so.
right.
Yeah.
If they do
I
it
mean,
right,
they've
I'd
not
go
said
thumbs up.
anything here. This isn't going to happen because it's
Well, anyway,
stupid.
let's just say it does. Thumbs up or thumbs down on the idea.
Oh, on the idea, I don't mind it. It's okay. But
I'd
Ogres
like
as
to
well.
see the idea expanded. Like,
yeah.
this
Oh,
says
of course.
nothing. This
It's
says there's 2 new
zones
zones.
and not much.
Okay, 2 new zones, 2 new races. It's not a bad idea.
Yeah. The first raid tier will be against Scourge. Like it. I love that already. That's what it's supposed to be in Classic, in all the Classic games. And yep. So thumbs up to that one too. Cataclysm Classic will happen after Wrath. Well, what the fuck?
That's
when
already
will it
sort of-
happen, you
yeah.
idiots? Of course it's
Yeah.
going to fucking happen after Wrath.
Can I then bring up? When we're talking about classic and classic leveling, and we've sort of already talked a bit about Kata, right? Because we sort of missed out on this point with the Kata discussion. What do you think about the whole revamp? Wait a sec, Spiky. Wait a sec, Spiky. Wait a sec. What do you think about the whole revamp of the Kata leveling and the whole revamp of the world that happened?
Well, it was terrible. It took him
I hate it.
ages to get it
Yeah.
right. I mean, if you're
And
leveling
why did they
old...
kill old Blanchy, for fuck's sake? That was absolutely unnecessary.
Well,
You walk
even,
into
even ignoring little points like that, if you actually level through 1 to 60 from like a practical standpoint, and you're queuing RDF like I would be, Random Dungeon Finder, you basically do 3 quests a zone, a dungeon, and then you have to spend 20 minutes traveling to the next zone because you have to actually manually travel to each zone in Kata. They do fix this later, and then they make it actually scale to your level. I don't know when they did that, but in Dragonflight, the leveling's pretty good, but you do blow through it in like a day.
That wasn't until after Legion, I'm pretty sure, that they did the level scaling.
It was fucking long time that you spent leveling 1 to 60 and you just vanish through the levels. It's like, what the fuck? Spend more time traveling than you do killing anything.
I think that point is pretty valid. Do you think that the level 60 like rescale that they did fixes and where you can go to any zone in Kata helps it? Or no? Because I feel like some of the stuff in Kata, personally, I don't think is that bad, like, and that egregious compared to like what they've gone on and done later. But it was just that you powered through that so quickly to get.
I think that if they're gonna do the Kata zone smashing, what they should have done is actually done a playtest the way through with no BOAs, nothing, but do a playtest and see if a realistic player isn't going to end up getting to grey level quests in each zone. And I think they'd find that they would, because each zone has like 50 quests in it. Yeah, but you only need like 10. It's...
You know how the business bell curve works with profits, right? So it goes flat like that, then it goes up over an arc, and then hits the top, right? And if they're lucky, the bell curve goes for ages, and it just keeps going up. Well, they were too confident when Kata came around, and rather, because Activision got involved at that exact point in time, and they were more focused because they were already in trouble for the whole loot box thing and all bullshit that they added to other games. And I think when Activision took over on that, a lot of the creative team and everything, they weren't allowed to continue with the way they were doing things, which is working well. And that's when if you literally look at the sales and the way it works, when Kata came out, the hype was good, but then it just went boom, and like fucking it fell so fast.
I was so hyped for Kata after Wrath. I bought the deluxe edition. That's why I have the mouse pad.
Intro video. Oh,
I was so disappointed.
Dude, boys, wait here 1 second. Wait here. Keep talking. Keep talking. I got to show something.
But the thing I found, right, I've got the Cataclysm box just up here too. The thing I found though is that going around and realizing they destroyed the world means that it meant that people that were fresh to the game, they were fresh to the game, were never ever going to see that old content again. They were never going to get to play.
I didn't wear any suit pants. I didn't think you were going to see my legs. But like, dude, I was so hyped. I got this for bloody Christmas, boys.
Yeah, I mean, I have the pet and everything. Yeah, no, it really.
Do you know what I mean?
And I've never been so disappointed.
Yeah,
is on launch
I was still
day,
a kid though, Leon.
When I was going through Hyjal slowly, and I was like, "Holy shit, I'm bored." You know, like
in Kata.
By the end of Hyjal as the zone, I was like, I'm so bored of this story."
That's sick. Is that just an art book, Leon? Is that what you got?
It's an art book for Blizzard starting back in 1990s.
True. Well, after he gets off the. What do you reckon? Do you want to play Kata Dark Gal? Is like when
not
if
really,
it
but
goes that way.
It seems like enough people want to do it that Blizzard's gonna do it, and then everyone's gonna play for like it'll be like last time it came out. People play a couple months. Some people will stick on. You know, if I'm gonna do a character at all, it'll only be one character, and it might be to help a guild, but I can't be bothered running a guild in that or anything else.
Yeah. Leon, I'll ask you if it goes to Kata, do you want to play Kata when it comes out or not?
With the group that I play with currently, yes, because I have a feeling that the problem that happened with Kata is too many people weren't committed to the days. They realized they could skip the days and go raid finder, and because the raids aren't that complicated and that difficult, you were getting a lot of people that you'd be like, okay, guys, we got our 25, we got our 2 10-mans this week. Oh, I'm locked. And you're like, why are you locked? So I think that if our guild sticks it out and we stay as the guild with our foundational members, which literally is about 20 people that are always reliable.
I'll give you a tip. I ain't raid leading or running the guild in Kata.
He's going to continue. So
can I then ask? This is the big question, though, right? Say we get Kata on one side, and they actually do Classic Plus on the other side. Right?
It really
do you
depends what they
reckon-
do for Classic Plus.
I
Because
agree.
I'm going to
Would
be
you-
honest,
would-
I got some
okay.
beef with Classic.
Yeah.
And
It's
it's
fair
the
what
fact
they
that I
do.
have to run 8 add-ons to make the game playable, and
Yeah.
people can argue that
I'm
as
already
much
getting
as they
sick of the
want.
fact that I've got like 4 installations of WoW on my fucking computer, and they
Yeah.
all have to be separate installations because they all run on.
I don't mind the idea of Classic Plus, but they're going to need to do some quality of life. Basic things like summon stones. They got meeting stones that are
Yeah, why
literally
the
there
hell
for
are some
random
stones even
dungeon
there in
finder.
Classic? God damn
You
it.
can random dungeon find out
Scarlet
at those
Monastery,
meeting
mate.
stones.
Scarlet Monastery. I mean, they should make that. If they're going to make any summon stone active, just make the fucking Scarlet Monastery one active for fuck's sake. It's like
I think all of
8
them should be
levels for
active
your
within their
character,
level
9 levels
ranges.
for your
I think
character up there.
TBC got that right.
Yeah, that's why we made the guild in Burning Crusade, because it seemed like the right time to form our own guild. Like, we're both pretty well known characters in the streaming world, and also on our servers we had as many haters as we had people that loved us. So it was kind of like, well, we'll see how it goes. And yeah, when we transferred, it worked really well. There, heaps of people transferred over from different servers to us, and it was like, fuck yeah, man, that's awesome. And it was a lot to do with Dark Gal. Me, I'm more the personality in the human resources department that, helps solve problems. And Dark Gal's the one that leads the raids and has to have the knowledge to do with the game. So what are we looking at?
That and cut up.
So you reckon?
I put so much
cool.
effort in.
Well, now the other thing, and this, like, because there's obviously everything going on at the moment. This comes into like what's going on right now. How have you guys been enjoying your hardcore experience? What do you reckon?
Yeah.
I've been liking it. Wish I had a bit more time to play it, but
Yeah.
I've been enjoying it.
I mean, other than what I went through, which we'll talk about either
Yeah.
tonight or another time. Other than that, like, no, mate, I've been loving it. Really enjoying it. Thoroughly enjoying it. And it's so simple, the fact that it's exactly the same game, but they've just added that consequence.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
So simple. Such a simple change. And yet you
I'll
can still
just
do all
say-
the things you normally do. Quality of life still there.
Yeah.
But-
Well, I'll just ask.
I think the Makarah change is one of the bigger ones. That's been really interesting when they have happened. They've been rare on our server, but when they have happened, it's been interesting.
I caught one out the front of Stormwind, and it was like a 34 warrior versus a 35 paladin, which was pretty brave of the warrior. And there was about 200 people out the front watching.
Well, I've been loving it for loot disputes. Someone ninjas your staff, Makarah me.
If you're actually brave enough to man up.
If you're pissed off about them taking a loot you feel you deserve, fucking put your ass on the line and let's see it.
Yeah.
Oh, but like me, I'm a PvE. I just know that that's not worth it because I would just lose.
Well, do you wanna talk about your classes? So then Dark Elf's playing a warlock, Leon's playing a mage, and I'm playing a rogue. And I don't know like how you guys have found it, but I don't know what you guys have found, but have you found that like hardcore has changed the way you've had to play a class much? Like, has there been any noticeable change? Like, other than obviously Soulstone and things like that for Warlock or other stuff.
Can I go first with this one?
Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
Cool. Because I've played a lot of mages. I've got like Dark Gun mage in Burning Crusade and that ending classic. Was it fucking cold? Very well known mage, but well, I love my mages and that, and my warriors. Coming into hardcore, the thing I've noticed is I'm not. So I see so many people die trying to AOE farm and fucking it up, having that one little motherfucker run away from the pack, something like that, or accidentally not realizing there's an invisible fucking tiger behind you, something like that. So I've found that I've changed. I've spec'd the same. I've focused heavily just on making sure that everything stays frozen and slowed as long as possible as a precautionary measure, because my leveling seems like I'm doing all right, but in reality, I'd be doing it 5 times quicker if I could just be so brave as to not care if I died. So I found that I've slowed the pace down a lot, and AoE farming is just like a rarity. If I happen to see a mob if I'm level 43, which I am now, and I see a mob that's level 40 or below, like 37, 38, 39, 40, like, mate, there's 10 of them, I'm going. That's it. But if they're anything above that, I'm like, nope. I'll take 2 of them, 3 of them at a time. And that way, if I screw it up, I can safely escape. And I've had some close ones. You've seen it yourself, Todd.
Yeah, I know. Dude, I was
21 health.
I sent it to Dark Out too. Like
21 health
without,
out of 900.
oh, just quickly, without getting into it all. Like, dude, you had got your account back for all of like 15 minutes after all the drama.
It had been like an hour. It had been like an hour.
But still, like, you know, and then just like comes
Show
back.
the clip to my reaction of that, actually.
Oh, yeah, I have
While we're
that.
talking
Let me
about it,
find
show
it.
the, because you like it so much, RGC. It
I
was
thought
so
it was
off
funny.
the cuff.
I had another one the
thought it
other
was
night,
funny.
and I got down into the teens. I was down to like 16 health.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
So you said you weren't gonna die, man. You said you were gonna make it to 60
dude, I have
easy.
still
You
not
came out of
died. What do you
16
mean?
health.
I haven't died. Hey, if you win by like a 1/1,000,000th of a second or 1 hour, winning is winning, mate. I'm not dead yet.
Mate, I thought I had a near-death experience at 1,000 health.
Okay, here we go. Here's the clip. Turn
This
it up.
is the
Mike,
middle
just-
of the night, by the way.
Yeah. No, it was first thing in the
Oh, was
morning.
it
I
early
think.
morning?
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah, I was like, yeah.
I remember being
Thing
really
if he
tired.
is that it punched out his monitor. Fucking yeah, I'd punch out my monitor too. Oh, rip moms in my gut. Notice the ADHD, you get distracted immediately. Fucking. Dude, the left hook my monitor would take if I fucking died 45 minutes after getting my account back. Like, the damage it would cause. Like, it wouldn't take out just the monitor. There'd be like 2 holes through the wall, my neighbors would be unconscious. You know what I mean? Like, it'd be like one of those anime punches just starts blowing holes through everything.
Oh, dude, when you said that,
Okay, so
show me in the
show
chat.
them what I did.
Oh
show
my
them what
God.
I did, though, Todd. Show them what
Yeah,
I
I'll
did that
find it
Dark was
quickly.
talking about. It's
Yeah.
Like this Bang Theory, this casually.
It's so stupid. Dark was right. In my brain,
Sorry, boy.
I would have trashed and burned everything I possessed in the entire world.
Yeah, I know.
But
Uh,
me being me, and I've learned how to control this.
let me preface
I would have
the clip,
sulked and
'cause I
just
feel
been
like,
ah.
I
I'm
feel
the
like they,
funniest guy in my mind.
oh, yeah, dude. So just wait, don't play it yet. Don't play it. Full screen it, Spiky. So what happened? There's a bit of drama. Oh, I'm getting echoes from somewhere. Spikers. Oh wait, is that me playing it? Fuck, sorry boys. I'm professional. My bad. There we go.
Very professional.
Yeah. Yeah. So Leon had some drama with his account, and he hadn't been able to log into it for a few days. And then, like
2
you said,
weeks.
about 2 weeks.
2
Yeah, more than a
weeks.
few days. Not a couple days. 2 weeks. Couple weeks.
And I was level
gets his-
35
yeah,
2 weeks
level-
before this.
Yeah. He was doing well. He was pumping it, and then unfortunately, he gets back. And then within an hour of getting back onto his main character that he had been itching to get back onto for 2 weeks, this is what happens. Roll the clip.
Hang on, there's some more.
Whoa!
Pause it.
Pause it.
Right, so what happened was, right, if you look on the left, I'm in a group, right? What happened was I was down there and I was trying to get these gems that you need to get. Everybody knows this quest and it's dangerous, right? Because they do some damage, but I've got like, they're doing frost damage or some shit. So I just put my fucking shield on, right? But it wears out after like the second hit and then you're fucked, right?
Yeah.
Well, I was killing them really well. And I'm going to do another clip of this because it only happened about fucking 5 days ago. And I'm going to start it earlier where it shows that I'd killed everything, right? I'd killed everything in this entire area and I was nothing. Nothing was going to respawn. The dead bodies were still there. I joined this group for Scarlet Monastery.
Yeah.
And fucking I forgot about layering.
You. Oh, no.
Yeah, layering annoys me so fucking much.
No. I was like, no. What the fuck's happening?
I hate layering
That's
so
actually what
much.
happened.
I'd rather they spawn quicker. It's so stupid.
So you missed that part. It's very important. Fuck. So this is a respawn.
Nah, I'm
Look
out.
at my face. I'm like, fuck this shit, man.
I'm
I'm
out.
trying to do a runner. And now I've got another one. Look at my health.
Look
Out
at
of
the
19,
no
I've got
health
health
pots.
Look at the.
Yeah, he doesn't have a
No,
health
I've used
pot.
them.
way at all.
I used them. I'm dead. Look at
You
this.
get
21 health.
more. How do you...
That's got to be something.
21 health.
Am I safe? I'm freaking out. Look at me.
Dude.
Yeah, can you do me a favor, Leon? Can you carry 5 health pots at all times? And if you run out, get another 5. If you can't organize them for yourself, I'm happy to send them to you. Because I use like 1 health pot a day. I'm happy to send you some.
You know what I needed, right? I do have them, but you know what I need to do? I had the upgrade, the next level ones, and I'd finished off those ones just as before that clip started. I dropped one of them because I didn't realize I was getting shot from behind randomly because I joined a group and laid. So I was looking at one and I was attacking one in front of me, and then out of nowhere I started just getting hit with 2 blasts from behind me, and I took out one of them, and that's I think just before that clip started, I'd taken out one, and I looked around, I thought I can do it, and I'm like, no, I can't. And I realized I'd already used my health
reckon I can make you a macro that uses every tier of health potion in order.
Yeah, so that literally happened within the first hour of getting my account back. Like Dark, I was not far off. I would have been. I'm not one that gets out anymore. I would have sad sacked it. I would have been like, yeah, nah, fuck guys. Like I did the other day when I lost that level 29 character. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, are you fucking kidding me?
So I haven't died yet. And when I say I get close to death, I have like 1,000 health, which is more than Leon has total in that.
Bruh.
Like that's when I'm sweating bullets. When I'm having to use cooldowns, I'm like, oh, this is getting tight.
Well, I guess for me,
not got under 100 health in a long time.
Really? Oh, true.
Yeah.
Well, I've died.
I haven't had like less than 300 health in ages.
Really? Like, okay, interesting. Because I was just gonna say, for me, like on this new character, I've been playing the Rogue, which has been my most successful so far. But I've also been a lot more sensible because I died in a mock garage and like did some other dumb stuff. But it was all fun and games. Anyway, the Rogue, like obviously you got Vanish, you got improved Sprint, which just like immediately gets you out of nets and stuff. So there's like a lot more. It's a lot safer for me in that way than like the Hunter for champ.
I will say I specifically
you're taking it more slowly because of that.
Early, because
you guys taking it slow. I think that's what we're talking about. That's what we're supposed to talk. Yeah, that's what we're supposed to be talking about. We're taking it slower though, aren't we? Is that what everybody's finding?
Yeah.
I mean, that video is an example of why the fuck you got to be careful and take it slowly and think a bit. I never thought layering is a bitch. Like,
I'm doing quests I normally wouldn't do just because it's a little bit more interesting as hardcore. Some of these like risky cave quests that aren't really worth the XP, but you kill enough on the way through. It's good fun. I did like a bug den the other night. It's like
just before we started this, I did one on stream. I went into an ogre fucking cave, man. It's freaky as fuck. Once you got to do it as quickly as you possibly can. Right? When you get the item, you just like full sprint. If you've got rocket boots, mate, you're using them.
I feel like
I just burst out of caves.
Oh, true. That's actually safe because that's what I was about to say. Like, it feels like in the caves they spawn so quick compared to anywhere else in the world, which is like the complete opposite of what you actually want, right? You want it to be a lot quicker in the world, and then in the cave you want to have a longer respawn time so you can get out. But then you turn around
when he said, stand your ground, stand your ground, stand your ground, you know, like, and I'm like, I've always been a strong believer in that, man. Like, stand your fucking ground. Look how close I came to death. But if I'd have stayed there, I don't know if I would have survived.
Well, I don't know if you've done much of Desolus yet, Leon. I don't know if you've gone there, but I know Dark El's been in Desolus.
Yeah, I've done all of Desolus.
And this is something I noticed, and it was like much more obvious in Desolus when it's like a flat. And like there's a bit more of a mob density. If you're going through the area and you're killing like each mob as you go through, I feel like it's a lot safer. But as soon as you're like trying to duck and weave and dodge these mobs, all of a sudden you're like, I'm surrounded by 4 mobs that are going to just aggro me.
You kill inconsequential stuff because you might need to back off in that direction.
Yeah,
so I do that too.
I do when I'm entering a cave.
And I'll kill the things on the outskirts that are nothing to do with
the whole entrance to the cave's clear if I'm entering.
And that's with a warrior or a mage. I do the same thing. I like kill the outskirt enemies. Then I work my way in because that way if you fuck up and you have to do the fucking humdinger and run, like you just, you can without coming across anything for at least a fair way, a couple of 100 yards. I told you about what happened to me with that bloke I quested, grouped up with. You have to go down to the bottom southeast of Desolus, where all those skellies are, the skeletal warriors and Sorcerers and that. Right?
Oh yeah.
Whereabouts, sorry?
Went down there and a dude. We got to the corner, right in the thick of it all, where all they've got those centaur dudes that throw spears and that there too. And we got to the middle of it all, and they were the same level of us as all the things around us. And it's like, you know, come on, let's get moving. What is he doing? And he's sitting there, and he's gone from his feral form. He was a druid, went from his feral, and he's doing something. And I'm like, what's he doing? And he placed a totem on the ground. I'm like, wait, what the fuck's he doing? And then all of a sudden, about 4 elites just appear and start running towards us. I'm like, wait, what?
And in this moment, I would have paced.
Death, bro. If he wasn't a druid,
get out the sack field person.
I'd be dead. I got down to like under 100 health, man. I was like, you fucking, I wanted to abuse him. I wanted, why the fuck didn't you tell me we were going to do that?
That's why we stream, right?
Just leave.
You can yell out loud and then not in game, right?
I wasn't fucking streaming. That's all it was. I may have been streaming. I actually may have been streaming. I think
I'm so afraid to play hardcore off stream because if I'm gonna die, I better be on stream in spectacular fashion.
What?
Oh no, the other week as well, mate. That was so.
My level 29 character. That was heartbreaking, man. I wish you guys seen. I got y-axis. I got y-axis by a fucking cunt below me
as well.
Oh, yeah, off stream. I had it right where I was trying to do it. I went around the corner. I noved it up the top, and it should have. It did get them. But the thing is, I was getting y-axis by 2 fucking hellhounds underneath me. And I was like, oh, and it was like insta kill. It was like a split second. Dead. Full health. Dead.
Any other hardcore topics? Because I got one more topic here that the boys want me to ask since I got both of you here. But I know, up to you before we move on. Any other thoughts on hardcore?
Not really. We can talk about most of the other stuff to do with future things.
The only issues I've had with hardcore are classic era related issues. Things like summoning stones not working.
Same old.
I don't know. I like having the MMO feel. I like having my game work properly. I hate having to, all these people are blaming add-ons for their deaths, and you have to install 8 add-ons to play Classic properly.
Yeah,
well, I have to get the cast bars and the rest of it. It's just so stupid.
Actually, no, I've got one issue. I don't understand why Blizzard didn't invest in the idea of an oceanic server when all they would have had to do is cancel out one of the existing servers, which they're going to do soon anyway. They would have been able to hijack that because it's already running on Classic. Right? Yeah. All I had to do is add the hardcore aspect to it, and that was it. There's nothing else different about the fucking game at all.
Yeah, I must say, having seen how big the servers are,
they didn't support Oceanic because it's scary when you get 300 plus latency and you're trying to kill mobs.
And this might be coming up later, but this feels like the right time to bring it up now. EU Stitches has been dead for like a week.
Bloody hell!
Because it's got too many people in it. It's got too many people. But we couldn't get an OCE server.
Yeah,
it's like the amount of servers I'm going to be honest, Defias Pillager is like 1,000 players off Stitches. And I'm like, man, if that 1,000 players is the difference between the server working or not,
I know.
We really needed that OCE server.
I just don't understand why they didn't invest in it. It's not like they did take a great deal of effort. All the same
issue
people
is that there wasn't going to be enough people to run 15 layers. Just don't run any layers. I'm happy to sit in a queue to play the game.
How many layers is there? What is there, like
There's
8,
15.
9?
There's 15.
Fuck
there
off.
was 15 on launch.
Insane.
I think it's few less now, and it changes depending. There's add-ons that detect it. You need an add-on.
Do you feel bad for any of the there was apparently, I don't know how true these numbers are, but they were saying about 1,000 people died when Stitches went down.
I've seen that.
Yeah, and the first 10-minute drop that they had, because there was basically no warning. I feel a little bit bad about them because the server was like stable enough, you know what I mean?
The response was classic though, man. It's fucking typical Blizzard. The response is like, we don't.
We're not going to do a rollback.
You can't res it. You know this is how it's going to go in hardcore. Like, from a D2 hardcore point of view, the amount of times I've died to fucking lag, like, it happens. You know, you teleport, you desync,
we're talking
you
like
die,
an entire server. We're not talking like an individual. Like, I mean, if we lived in the right country, we wouldn't have this lag, right? Apparently. But these are people that live in the countries with the fastest connections and shit like that.
Well, this is because the server has too many people on it. The server overloaded. You know? They needed to cap the server.
I don't know.
That's what happened.
There would be different opinion on that. I agree with you in one aspect, but I just think in this regard, it's different because this was an entire server, mate. This ain't nobody's individual internet connection like me. Like we live in Australia. I live in Australia. It's like the shittest
Well, some
internet
people
connection.
got saved apparently because the server actually crashed. Some people's deaths semi-registered. There's a few people that lost Soul of Iron, appeared at a graveyard, but were alive with 1 health because the server desynced so badly.
Unreal. Look at this video, man. It's so sad to see all these people dying. For some people were in level 60, like level 58, like they were in Stratham or they're in
the whole server crashed. For the 10-minute window there, I feel bad. But there's been another
resurrection totem, $199.
Oh, that's a joke. That's a joke.
Been
that's
oh my god, I freaked out there. My heart rate, I swear.
Yeah, they were memeing the yeah. Here we go. Here's a number. I don't know where. Who knows? This is from the bloody Blizzard.
It won't be 20%.
Wow.
No.
And it wasn't in a span of 30 seconds. There was a 10-minute window where the server straight up went unavailable.
But
and then they logged on, and that's the death span from logging on after that.
What do you think? That actually show the exact time, and they worked it out that most of them happened within like a 30-second period. So it was like
the server died for 10 minutes.
Do you think they should roll back? Do you think Blizzard should have rolled back that 10-minute window then? Do you think?
No, because what they're saying is that there's people that actually legitimately died during that time. But I believe if people were in dungeons or the people who were in dungeons, I believe they should roll it back for them. Right? Everybody who's in the open world,
they do, damned if
you
they
don't
don't.
know whether they were going to die anyway.
Well, the dungeon DC doesn't happen because dungeons are on a separate. Well, they're meant to be on a separate server.
Well, no, it happened to everybody. That's why it happened like this, man. That's what I'm saying. Like that's why so many people.
Well, most of the people I saw dying from it, they were like on a flight path, and of course, because the flight path's vanished,
and they just
the server went down. Yeah, they just logged in and died.
Really?
That's why you saw them all dying and drowning and falling.
Assets in the game, some of the assets in the game. Like reset.
Yeah, because the server actually like confuzzled for 10 minutes. Like the server went down and they had to reboot it. That's why a lot of people died.
That's pretty intense. Like fucking hell.
And that's where I feel bad for those people because how were they going to know that the server was going to die?
Yeah.
Well, some of the flight paths are 20 minutes.
Mate, you're pretty safe, right?
Yeah,
Wait, so does that mean if you did what I did the other day and log out while you're on a flight path a day before, and then you log in the next day, does that mean that because I was on a flight path and I have to log back in and I'll still be at the same point in the sky that I would just fall to my death?
Could happen. I would be careful about that. I definitely wouldn't be logging in on flight paths. Make sure you get your lighter balloon and click it quickly in case it's happening.
Yeah, I forgot all about that. Thanks for bringing that up. That was in my notes to talk about, but I forgot about it. So, if that's everything for hardcore, you got.
See, here's the thing. In the last 5 days, there's been a post every fucking hour on the Reddit going, I died to lag on EU, because EU Stitches has been fucked since this point, right? Since this point, it's still been fucked.
They did say that there was going to be issues before the game
and Blizzard said, like, don't play.
What, like?
I'm saying don't play. Like, what Muppet is logging on, their characters all teleporting around and going, hardcore, that's the game mode for that. Like,
yeah.
I have no sympathy for everyone who died.
Like now,
so this question. So we'll get on to the next thing. What's the next thing?
Yeah, okay. So, I know I was about to say that's why I try and bring it up before the end. And this is a Wrath of the Lich King related question. So people want to know if there's any plans or thoughts about ICC coming up. Are you guys looking forward to it? And DARKLIONS.
You go.
Yeah.
Because he's the raid leader.
Am I doing about ICC DARKLIONS?
Yeah, you guys keen? Are you going to kill Lich King? What do you reckon?
We'll probably kill Lich King on normal. How Heroic Lich King will go, we'll see. It depends how quickly Blizzard puts the buff through.
Even back in the day, man, that was fucking hard.
We will need the 30% buff to kill Heroic Lich King. I don't think there's any shame in that. Yeah, no.
I reckon we're going to have to buff
Lich King's a very hard fight. I don't think we'll get normal week 1. I'm hoping we get normal week 1, but we'll see. It's not worth spending a whole day on normal for us. We'll just come get it next week and we'll get.
There is a couple of hurdles, but both our knowledge to put together should be able to solve those hurdles.
I'm pretty confident we'll blow through most of normal mode. It's just specifically Cindergosa, Lich King. Those are very different.
Putricide, Cindergosa, Lich King. Like, because if people don't.
Putricide's not that bad on normal. On normal,
actually, Algil's pretty good.
Putricide's a piece of piss. If you're wiping to normal Professor Putricide, got problems.
Well, with ICC, I think There's going to be heroic modes that are going to be easy to do straight off the bat because there's not the heroic like Marrow is not just watch out for the fucking frost fire that he leaves along the ground and shit.
Yeah, I'm going to be trying to get him on heroic, even with the Friday release fucking us. I think it's worth doing an attempt. Just
I reckon straight up. We'll actually show the video on streams and everything just so people get the fucking idea of it's not that complicated because the standard is not that different from the.
Well, I'm going to do a different strat than what might be in the videos, but there's not a lot of mechanics anyway.
So I think,
I'm going to break the fires.
I think the Shadow Mourn's probably the biggest question that we're probably.
We've already organized that. Milia gets the first Shadow Mourn. That's already organized.
That's one of the hardest things because I think you got to start off and you got to go through and you've got to get the 1,000 souls. So you've got to do at least. You got to do a full. If you
the shards drop from day. You don't need the quest for the shards to drop anymore, so that's already solved. I
thought you had to get the 1,000 souls and then upgrade the weapon to the point where, like you do, like with any.
Yeah, well, you need to do that as well, but you can get the shards right away. The shards will drop.
Oh yeah, of course.
Because you used to have to have the quest for the shards to drop.
I'm excited for Ice Crown Citadel.
I'm super excited.
I'm not. Is that so? You've already organized who's getting Shadow Mourn. Are you? You're gonna push
Milia, our resident PvP, is getting the first Shadow Mourn, and then I still have to work out who's getting second. But it's between Gregor and Sankt. But we'll probably get 3 done pretty quick.
All right, Siled, are you here? Can you hear us, mate?
Yeah, I can hear you. It's just I got to turn my
screen. If you're streaming, turn off your camera on your stream. Just turn your camera off on your stream, and it'll activate on the fucking website.
Oh, will it?
Yeah. Just turn your camera off on your stream.
Quickly,
and then mine became active after that.
We're nearly at the end here, Steve.
Yeah.
No, it's fine.
Good to have you drop in there.
I know.
I fucking died. God damn it!
This is the Oceanic stream team here, guys. We're only missing Emilios and a few others, and this is the Oceanic.
Fuck's sake, Siled, man! You gotta survive,
bro.
Just don't die. That's the one thing you have to do. Just don't fucking die.
Yeah. Do you have a question for the boys or anything, Steve?
No, I'm depressed as fuck. We're gonna make another rogue now. God damn it!
What did you get to?
I was fucking alt-tabbing in.
Oh no, mate.
I'm out of. I gotta go out of this. I got a fucking power level. Sorry, boys.
Okay, no worries, mate.
Came in, died. He's out. Nice.
No, he's in. He's out. He's in. He's out.
Came in, died.
You gotta love him.
Oh,
fuck, I love Siled, man.
Fucking legend.
He's such a fucking cool dude. I love him. He's in. He's out.
Well, what are you guys doing up next? You're gonna go do your raid, right? TOG. Okay. Are you benched this week, Leon?
Well, no, we're doing a raid, but then I'm going to make my stream title. I think I actually have it in my stream title that it's podcast, raid, guild raid, and then more hardcore.
Nice.
Leon's like, I do all the things.
I've got a flex now that I haven't been able to play for so long.
Okay, well,
I got like 96 pass or some shit.
Let me do my job. I'm trying to host. I didn't even put the suit and tie on, mate.
All right, go for it.
Thanks for joining us, boys, and everyone in the chat. Thanks for hanging out. Leon, do you want to plug your stuff? I don't know. Anything you want to talk about? Anything coming up? Anything going on?
Not really. I mean, it's just to keep watching Dark Gal and myself with our guild raids and everything like that.
And me, Todd Benford. But yeah, they're doing their raid next. Leon Lyon on the screen here. Leon Lyon, 1979, boys. Chuck him a follow. And then Dark Gal,
chuck me a follow and unfollow Leon because we're competing to get 4K first.
He's trying to beat me with follows, man. I'm pushing towards 4K. Motherfucker's trying to beat me.
I was drunk, and Leon's like, "I got this follow goal," and I'm like, "Oh yeah, how much? How do I add that? By the way, let me just work it out for like 15 minutes, hammered his shit. And now I have a follow goal for the first time.
I appreciate you having us chill out, man. Like,
no, it's good. I
appreciate you putting on the effort to put all this.
No, it's all good. I appreciate guys showing up and connect. I know. I thought this system would be good so we could all look at the stuff and
it's actually it works pretty well. It doesn't seem nobody's complaining on my stream.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't start my stream though.
Interesting thing for you. We might have I mean I'm going to talk to my mate who got sued by Epic Games And if he wants to come on and tell his little story about how that all come to pass, because he used to sell hacks for fucking games, and he got sued by Epic Games, and had private investigators from America following him, and shit like that. It's a crazy story, man, for a young fella. He's only about 24 years old. And he had like on my stream, live on my stream, I had screen shared his screen, and he won $49,000 US. And he just laughed and went, "Oh yeah," and so he started betting $100 a press. But anyway, I also have people from America who like Level Up Kent, you know, and people, it's like Christ Kill Destroy and that are probably going to be happy to jump on and have similar conversations. So
we'll just talk about it and figure it out. We're still an unnamed podcast, boys. So how about that? Because
well, you can come up for the name.
I will. Okay, true, Dark Owl. But if anyone's got any good ideas,
how about the unnamed Aussies, mate, or something like that?
The unnamed Aussies. No, mate, we're not unnamed.
Well, actually, the Kiwis. Right, no, you know what? Fuck Dark Owl. The unnamed Aussies. No, the lands down under. What about the lands?
I'm going to just to let everyone know, if you missed it or you joined in late, we'll have a VOD up and I'll put that on YouTube. And I'll send that to you guys as well. It'll just be literally a copy and paste of what happened here today. And we'll get back. And if you go to that, and I'll talk to the boys and we'll figure out how often we want to do this or whatever. But other than that, I don't know. Thanks, guys. I'll let you get ready for your raid.
Yeah, thank you.
Woo! Bye, everyone.
And thank you,
bye, everyone. Woo!
Good evening, everyone. Bye. And have a fucking good.